and we discussed what key word in the text. Who can raise point and tell me yesterday what key word in the text did we discuss? Segregation. Segregation. And remember we talked about why was it important that the author used the word segregation, Deshaun? Why did the author decide to use that word?
Because black people back in the day, they had rules.
Okay, back in the day there were different rules, right? And what were those, Jakari? What happened? Ruby. It's not college boys. Okay, remember we're talking about segregation. Kevin, what does segregation mean?
That the one person go there and the other person go over there.
Good, separating people, like saying only you can go here, but all you guys need to go here, right? And back in Ruby Bridges, when Ruby Bridges was born, when she was in first grade, when the story took place, what type of segregation was happening? They were saying, over here are the what, Joshua?
White people and over here black people.
Right. And remember we said the author decided to teach us this word segregation so that way we know what? So we know what? Marcus? Yeah. So we know what? Kevin, go ahead and help.
So we can know how segregation works?
Yeah, so we can know how segregation worked, what it was, what happened, and why people were not very happy about it, right? So, remember we discussed this is important to understand because that was important when Ruby Bridges was going to school. Because Ruby Bridges was the very first what, Aubrey? She wasn't the very first American. Good. She was the very first black person to go to a white school. So yesterday you did this teen challenge, and we kind of ran out of time, so we didn't get to review all of the team's answers. So yesterday we found another key word in the text. What was the other key word in the text? Aiden.
Marshals.
Marshals. So we said the key word within the text is marshals. It is important to understand because. You ready to see some of our answers?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to cover names. It doesn't matter who's who. All right. So here. Eyes on the board, please. So this team said it's important to understand because marshals are brave. Would that be a good reason to understand why the author chose the word marshals? Because we know that marshals are what type of people? Very brave. And remember we said if the author decided to just say people came with us to make sure we were safe, would that mean the same thing? No. So did this group do a good job by saying because they want us to know marshals are brave?
Yes.
It is important to understand because so they can protect Ruby.
Yes.
Do we know that marshals do what type of job?
Protect.
They protect. So is that important why the author chose to use the word marshals? Yeah. It is important to understand because to protect Ruby Bridges as at front school. We just talked about that. Is that good? It is important to understand because to keep Ruby safe and she can go by herself. Is that one?
Safe.
And she can go.
Yes, safe.
Oh, be safe?
Yeah.
She can be safe? Is that your team? Yeah? Is that what that means? Okay, good. So we just talked about it. So to keep Ruby safe, are marshals there to keep people safe?
Yes.
Yes, they are. And they do it so Ruby can go and be safe, right? She can go by herself and be safe. All right? Look at that, guys. You didn't want to review these, and everybody knows. All right, let's see this team. It is important to understand because marshals are important because stand by you. They stand
by you.
because they stand by you.
To stand by you.
To stand by you? It is this one. Okay, is it important to know that marshal's job is to stand by the person and protect them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do know that that is a part of the marshal's job, is that they stay with the person that they are with, that they're with, that they're protecting. They stay with the person that's protecting. Yep. Don't worry. All right, last one. Find your stars. It is important to understand because marshals came with us to make sure she's safe. So, guys, everyone does it.
Everybody get the A.
Oh, before we talk about that in a second, shake stars. Thank you. I think this is one of our team challenges that almost everyone understood. Remember, we said, if we took out marshals and we said, people came with us to make sure we were safe, does that have the same meaning?
No.
No. If I'm Ruby Bridges, remember we said we're putting ourselves in Ruby's shoes. If I'm Ruby Bridges and my friend Chris comes with me, is Chris going to help me feel very safe? What do you think? He's my age, because I'm pretending I'm Ruby Bridges, I'm in first grade, right? Is another friend who's in first grade coming with me, is that going to make me feel very safe?
No.
No. It might make me feel a little better because I have a friend, but is that very safe?
No.
No. But if we know that a marshal, whose job is to do what? Who do we say the marshal's job is really to protect usually who, Ruby?
You.
Well, if you're Ruby Bridges, but who else? Paloma. They do protect Ruby, but when they weren't with Ruby, Deshaun? Special people like what type of example?
The president.
Presidents, right? Of the United States.
Wait. The general.
Yeah, no, you're right. Barack Obama, yeah. So do you think when Mr. Obama goes walking anywhere, do you think he has marshals with him?
Yes.
Yes, he does. So if you're Ruby Bridges and you know a marshal is with you, then you know that you're going to be what?
Safe.
You're going to be safe and they're going to do what?
Help you.
They're going to protect and help you. So now we know that the author chose to use this important word because he wants us to know, or she, because it's Ruby Bridges. Ruby Bridges wants us to know not just normal people stood around her. Very special, important marshals went with her to make sure she was safe. Okay? That was very nice, right? And that kept her safe, right? All right. So, and that's what we did at Shooting Center.
Yeah, that was me.